Okay, hey guys. So as you can see, Angelica and I wanted to record some info. Sorry for the info raps for you about. Why are you doing that?
Just go, bro. Come on.
I'm sorry. Angelica wanted to not be seen by the camera, so she crawled under it, and it was funnier than it actually was. So yeah, we wanted to make, we missed some material in class, and I'll be talking to you about Implanon, the implant, and Angelica will be talking to you about emergency contraception and how it's not actually just limited to the pill. Great, so just quick info wrap style. Also, if you are looking for the model info wrap, hopefully these will be helpful in determining exactly what that should sound like. So first off, what is the implant? Implant, otherwise known as Implanon, is a method of hormonal birth control that is used by women who wish to prevent pregnancy. It does not prevent against STIs, and because it's not a barrier method, it's a hormonal method. It is a 1.5 inch, so about this big, flexible plastic rod that is inserted into the under the skin of the upper arm by a clinician. So it does require a trip to a medical clinic. It works by releasing synthetic progesterone, and it does that slowly over the course of 5 years. So this is a very long-term method of birth control as compared to, say, the pill or NuvaRing, something like that. Even though it does last for 5 years, it can be taken out, and then after a certain amount of detox time, depending how long it's been already, your cycle will come back to normal, you'll begin to ovulate and that kind of thing. So because it is a hormonal method of birth control, like we mentioned in class, it thickens the cervical mucus and prevents ovulation. Primarily, those are the two things that it does. Also, because it's hormonal, you will see the same side effects for all methods of birth control, such as breast swelling and tenderness, nausea, weight gain or loss, that kind of thing. The most common one for Implanon is constant spotting or regular bleeding, but generally periods aren't affected besides that. I have some notes here, but I think I've said everything. Some of the health impacts are infection at the insertion or removal site. Although this is done by a clinician, if for some reason the area gets irritated, it can be prone to infection. Although it's inserted with a thick syringe, so it's not like it's cut open with a scalpel and the rod is inserted that way. If you look it up on YouTube, they actually have some demo videos that are pretty cool if you're not too squeamish. And sometimes it could become too deeply embedded in the arm, or it could break. In the worst case scenarios, to my understanding, this is pretty rare, but in those cases, removal could be difficult or require surgery. As I mentioned before, the access is required. You have to go to a clinic to get access. And no, there is no scarring, Angelica, but great question, because it is a really small mark, technically, just because it is used with the syringe. So maybe there would be a tiny little pock mark, but nothing more than that. And especially not if there's any sort of irritation, because if there would be, it would be caused by irritation and infection. Some of the pros for Implanon is that it's fairly discreet, although it can be felt if squeezed, if the area is squeezed like that, but it's not incredibly visible unless the implant is too close to the surface of the skin. So it's discreet, it lasts for 5 years, and because it's a 5-year method of birth control, the level of hormones is relatively low because it's constantly emitted for that long period. Some of the cons, however, it's an uncomfortable procedure. They do numb the area beforehand, but it's a pretty big syringe. If that's something that you're afraid of, then maybe this isn't the procedure for you. And also, there is the sensation of feeling it through the skin, so if someone were to touch your arm like this, they might be able to feel it, and then they'd be able to tell. There's nothing I'd like to add, change, or rearrange, and so now we're going to have Angelica.
Should we just go?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
So, hi, hopefully I'm in the thing. If not, then just listen to the sound of my voice. Hi class, so I'll be talking to you about emergency contraception.
Um, so, yeah, like, we're just gonna do this, like, info rep style. So, emergency contraception, it's for female-bodied people who wish to prevent pregnancy. One really common misconception about it, it is not an abortion pill. It cannot end a pregnancy. It can only prevent a pregnancy. And there's different methods. The most common one is a pill or a, like, combination of pills that you take. Paragard, the copper IUD, can also be used as a form of emergency contraception. It's actually the most effective kind. And so emergency contraception. The way that it works, preventing pregnancy, is that basically it depends on what pill you take, but they're usually a mix of a combination of estrogen and progestin, and they do the same things, where they increase the cervical mucus, they prevent implantation of a fertilized egg, and they also bring about a period, so they, like, empty the uterus of all its contents. They also, I already said that, increase cervical mucus.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So basically they do whatever they can to prevent a pregnancy. How effective they are depends on how soon after the unprotected sex act has occurred. So after an unprotected sex act, or like if a condom has broken or any incident like that where an unwanted pregnancy may occur, the efficacy rate goes from anywhere from like 95% to 88% within the first 24 hours. After that, it increases dramatically. It can be taken up to 120 hours, so 5 days after, but by that time, the efficacy goes down to like 30% or even 20%, depending on the woman or how you take it or which pill you're using. There's about 5 or 6 different brands, and most of them use a combination. So the way that it's taken is that you take one pill in the morning and then one pill at night, or one pill at whatever time and then another pill a few hours later. But they also have brands that are just one pill. Some of the side effects can be pretty extreme. Some people don't experience any side effects, but some people experience